Hey everybody, Why So Lucky here. In this video, we're going to go through a recent article published by Microsoft showing off what the Xbox Series X is looking like and what the next generation of gaming is going to be like. If you find this information useful, consider liking and subscribing to see more, but we're going to jump right in. So, first off, an opening statement from Microsoft. The future of gaming has never been more inspiring. Creativity in games is flourishing. New services empower you to discover more games and bring you closer to the games and creators and streamers you love. The cloud creates a massive opportunity to stream console quality games and play with the people you want, wherever you want. And for many of us, nothing is more inspiring than the dawn of a new console generation. We know you expect the next generation of consoles to set new standards in graphical power and processing power, converging together in games that look incredible and feel alive. This will be defined by worlds that are visually astounding and immediately immersive, with innovative leaps in CPU, GPU, and storage technology to give you frictionless access to new stories and new creators constantly. We've been using Xbox Series X in our internal take-home program, and we are energized by the feedback we've been receiving. At Xbox, we value being open and transparent with you, and I'm proud to be able to share details about some of the technologies we are enabling for the next generation and look forward to boldly sharing more as we head towards E3. So a couple of things to take away from this. In the first little paragraph there, new services that empower you. So this is referring to Game Pass, specifically the Game Pass Ultimate that incorporates your Xbox Live Gold as well. I for one think Game Pass is like really good value. It has new games in there all the time. There's always something to play. I mean, sometimes you just turn on your console and you're like, I don't know what to play. Sometimes I just go on Game Pass and choose a random game that I've not played before, which is pretty fun. Also, Xbox Live Gold, really good quality. All your games are saved in the cloud as a backup for your saved games, and it's just really good. And then it goes close to the games and creators and streamers you love. So this is referring to the Mixer platform that they have. Specifically this year, they've been making big moves, getting some large streamers over from the Twitch platform. For example, you got Ninja that came over first, and now Shroud as well. And I'm sure they won't be the last ones. The technology that they're actually using on Mixer with the FTL technology is actually really good technology. I think they just needed to get some big players over and to help it grow. I for one, when I'm streaming, I use Mixer myself, and I'm sure it'll grow. And again, with more and more integration into the consoles, it's just a great thing. And then it says, the cloud creates a massive opportunity to stream console quality games and play with the people you want wherever you want. So this is a direct nod to Project xCloud, which is the platform. I was in the Android testing phase for that, and I played Forza a couple of times around the house, and that was about it. I've recently registered for the iOS test. I've not been accepted into that one yet, but I'm sure once I get that, I'll probably actually use it more, because then I'll be more likely to use it on the go than just in different rooms of the house. And that's just about the Xbox brand in that first paragraph. And then after that, it goes into telling us about the console, and it says leaps in CPU and GPU and storage technology. Now, the reason this is interesting is because usually when there's a new generation, they're all just talking about processing power and graphical power, which is CPU and GPU. But this time, there's been a big emphasis on storage technology, and that's because they're going with SSD this time, but also custom SSD. So it's meant to be quicker than anything that's in the PCs, but we'll have to see on that one. I mean, just having a terabyte SSD in there would be great, to be honest with you. Other than that, they just said they had a bit of a take-home program internally at Xbox. So I mean, if they're having a take-home program like that, they must be pretty much finalised on what the Xbox Series X is. And it's probably just more of a case of ironing out the software bugs and stuff at this point to be ready for launch. And then just a couple of optimizations. I don't think they'll be making massive changes in the hardware at this point, otherwise they won't be releasing specs, as we'll go through in a second, which is really encouraging. And then it just says, look forward to sharing more at E3, which I personally cannot wait for this year. It's going to be awesome. But next up, we'll have a look at the specs. So the Xbox One Series X, 12 teraflops of graphical compute power. A lot of people have been comparing this to the power of a 2080 Super and a 2080 Ti, somewhere within that range, which sounds okay. I mean, they're very, very high-end GPUs, and I think the 2080 Ti is coming in at the best part of £1,000. So, although it's the same teraflops, I think you've got to manage expectation a little bit. The game's going to play in 4K. They're going to play at 60 FPS minimum, up to 120. That sounds a lot more to me like a 2070 Super, which is what I've got in my desktop. Maybe between a 2070 and a 2080, more in that range. But yeah, hopefully it's as good as humanly possible, which is only the best thing. Also, they've got variable rate shading as well. If I'm honest, I'm not 100% what that is. They've got hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing, which is good. One of the big reasons I upgraded to my 2070 Super was to get a ray tracing graphics card. And honestly, it's amazing. The lighting, the graphical effects, the illumination is one of the best things ever. Even on slightly older games that you've played. They have a piece of software on the PC. I don't know if any of you guys have used it. It's called Reshade. And you just install it to the directory of your game, and it allows you to come up with all these extra lighting solutions, which is good. Quick resume for multiple games. That's good. So on the Xbox One at the minute, you have a quick resume for one game. So your last game, you'll just load straight in, and it'll be good to go. Being able to do that for multiple games sounds pretty good. So, I mean, the way I see that, say you're playing some games with your friends and they've just got to nip out for a minute, you can boot up a whole nother game, play that for a bit, and then when they're back and they come back to the party chat, you just go back to the other game without any loading, quick stuff like that. And then they say smart delivery. So I'm assuming this is to do with what the interface is like, so it's logical and you can do that. And then it says there's the next section is superior balance of power and speed. So the next generation custom processor, Xbox Series X is our most powerful console ever powered by a custom designed processor, leveraging AMD's latest Zen 2 and RDNA 2 architectures, delivering 4 times the processor power of an Xbox One and enabling developers to leverage 12 teraflops of GPU, graphics processing unit performance, twice that of an Xbox One X. So it's twice as powerful as an Xbox One X, which is good. And more than 8 times the original Xbox One, so that'll be the 2013 model. Xbox Series X delivers a true generational leap in processing and graphical power, with cutting-edge technologies resulting in higher frame rates, larger, more sophisticated game worlds, and an immersive experience unlike anything you've seen in console gaming. Then they talk about the variable rate shading. A patented form of VRS empowers developers to more efficiently utilize the full power of Xbox Series X. Rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on the screen, they can prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or important environmental objects. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact on the final image quality. So I mean, that sounds pretty good actually. So it's just like a newer technology, a newer method of doing things to make it better, which is good. Then you've got hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. You can expect more dynamic and realistic environments powered by hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. A first for console gaming, this means true to life lighting, accurate reflections, and realistic acoustics in real time as you explore the game world. And then it goes into the immersive in an instant section. So SSD storage. With the next generation SSD, nearly every aspect of playing games is improved. Game worlds are larger, more dynamic, and load of flash and fast travel is just that, fast. Quick resume. The new quick resume feature lets you continue multiple games from a suspended state almost instantly, returning you to where you were and what you were doing without waiting through long load screens. All sounding good. Then they've got dynamic latency input. We're optimizing latency in the player to console pipeline, starting with our Xbox wireless controller, which leverages a high bandwidth priority wireless communications protocol when connected to the console. With dynamic latency input, a new feature which synchronizes input immediately with what is displayed, controls are even more precise and responsive. Okay, so that just sounds like as soon as you're actioning something on your controller, it's just more instantaneous. Not that I have a particular problem with the Elite controller at the minute anyway. HDMI 2.1 innovation. We've partnered with HDMI forum and TV manufacturers to enable the best gaming experience through features such as auto low latency mode and variable refresh rate. Auto low latency mode allows Xbox One and Xbox Series X to automatically set the connected display to its lowest latency mode. VAR synchronizes the display's refresh rate to the game's frame rate, maintaining smooth visuals without tearing, ensuring minimum lag and the most responsive gaming experience. And then one of the most exciting ones for me, 120 FPS support. With support for up to 120 FPS, Xbox Series X allows developers to exceed standard 60 frames per second output in favour of heightened realism or fast-paced action. And then they go to the next section, which is the next generation of game compatibility. So 4 generations of gaming. Our commitment to compatibility means existing Xbox One games, including backwards compatibility Xbox 360 and original Xbox games, look and play better than ever before. So basically you're going to have original Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and the Series X. Smart delivery basically means when you buy a game on one, you've got it on all, and then you've got the Game Pass. We're all familiar with that. And then they have a closing statement basically saying that a generation with players at the centre. So this generation, it's all going to be focused about the games. It's going to be focused around the gamers. They've got 15 Xbox game studios currently working on games, and they're looking forward to showing a massive array of games at E3. So what games do I expect to be seen there? Obviously we know Halo Infinite is coming. That's a guarantee. I'm pretty sure that's one of the only confirmed games. The next one I'd be expecting, if they've skipped a year on Forza, you're going to go for a Forza Motorsport 9, I think it will be, which will be good because, again, Forza usually shows off the best what the graphics can do. I'm not quite sure if they're going to announce a Gears of War so soon, to be honest with you. Possibly not, but we'll have to see. And then everything else is going to be a bit of a surprise, I think. I mean, they're my obvious picks: Forza, Halo, which will be good. And other than that, you're going to have third-party games. Assassin's Creed, that's took a year off. I imagine that one's rumoured to be the Vikings this time. You've got that Hellblade, not Senua's Sacrifice. I can't remember what the new one was called. That's confirmed. We're probably going to be having that. And many more. And like I said, we'll know more about that when it comes to the E3. And that's that. Hope you enjoyed the information in this video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing to see more. Wookie, out.